Hi, I'm Michael O'Leary. I became CEO of RyanAir in 1994. My management techniques are what made RyanAir successful today. By improving on the low-cost model created by Southwest Airlines. We were Europe's first ultra-low cost carrier. We carry more international passengers than any other airline. In 2006, RyanAir became the world's first airline to transport over 4 million passengers in 1 month. As of September, we transported over 8.5 million passengers in 1 month.
Many definitions of quality refer to the specification of a product or service, usually meaning high specification. Quality can also mean appropriate specification, which is fit for purpose.
Follow me to my office, where we will discuss RyanAir's operations performance quality. We meet the needs of the customer without providing any added extras. We provide a service fit for purpose. If customers want any added quality, they would choose another airline. We guarantee to give you the lowest airfare. We won't give you anything more. Are we going to say sorry for our lack of customer service? Absolutely not.
Within cost, there are 3 categories: operating expenditure, capital expenditure, and working capital. Operating expenditure. This includes labour, materials, rent and energy. Capital expenditure. This includes the money invested in land, buildings, vehicles and machinery.
Cost is RyanAir's most important operations performance objective because we compete directly on price. The cheaper we can run our service, the lower we can charge. This will lead to more people wanting to fly with us and increased inflows. RyanAir's operating expenditure. This includes the wages and salaries of our 9,000 plus staff, payments to all the airports we take off and land at, and also the harbouring of planes that are not in use and the fuel costs that we may incur. RyanAir's capital expenditure. We invest heavily in our vehicles, now owning 303 Boeing 737s to 800s, with another 175 on order. We analyse our investments by looking at the risks of these outflows and its consequent inflows.
Speed. This is the time between the start and the end of an operations process. This can relate both externally and internally. External. An example of this is the elapsed time from a product or service being requested to the time it is received. Internal. An example of this is the time between a vehicle leaving the operation and when it arrives at its destination.
Externally, we need to be aware of the time between a customer booking a plane ticket and arriving at a destination. This time can allow us to clarify the customer's needs, for example the number of bags, allergies or their disabilities. Internally, it is paramount that we know when our plane leaves and when it lands. This is for safety, how much fuel is on board and how much is needed for the flight, security, especially with the increased terror threats over the last decade, and seeing as we are RyanAir, it's all about minimising costs. At RyanAir, we pride ourselves on keeping our flights on time. 90% of our flights are on time and our airline punctuality is at 93%. This enables us to be on the ground for the least amount of time as possible. This will keep our costs low, increasing turnover of passengers, creating higher profits. At Ryanair, we don't quote long delivery times just to make ourselves look good to the customers.
I would hesitate to say that everybody thinks that they get good service on Ryanair, because people actually often use Ryanair because there's no other service to the place.
Oh,
that
rubbish.
in itself, of course,
look,
is a
we have
business
about
offering.
20% of our routes, Kirsty, we have no competitor. 80% of our routes, we have a competitor. Everybody has a choice.
Okay.
Everybody has a choice. 81 million people. To put that in some context, British Airways carries less than 30 million passengers.
Okay.
I carry more than 2.5 times British Airways traffic. I save those people in 1 year more than 3 billion over the fares charged by EasyJet. and
Well,
over
we'll
6
talk
billion
about fares
over the
later,
fares
but
charged by British. You
let's-
can't talk about fares later.
Yes, we will talk about fares later.
now.
No, we'll talk about something else
That's why
now.
people choose Ryanair.
No.
We deliver low fares and great service.
Hi, I'm Willie Walsh, CEO of British Airways. Despite Ryanair being able to offer a very cheap service, they are not very flexible. Their service flexibility is minimal, as they very rarely introduce new and original services that are beneficial for the customers. Mixed flexibility is also very poor, as they cannot adapt to change their services in given time periods. After flights were grounded by storms for 72 hours, Ryanair did absolutely nothing for their customers.
Stop moaning.
Give it a rest, Michael.
You've got no sense!
You what, mate?
If you want some, I'll give it you. You want to do with me?